to go.
Whoa!
Oh,
That was scary. But I'll tell you what's more scary is when you get an accepted offer and the subject removal date's super long. Let me tell you about it.
you almost fell down the stairs. Whew. Okay, you were talking about accepted offers. What do you mean that it's scary? What this period about?
The subject removal period is basically terms that the buyer has set out for the seller to fulfill, or the other way around, between the two dates. Whether it's financing, whether it's subject to inspection, whether it's permits, whatever they are, they have to be fulfilled and checked off during that time to the satisfaction of either the party that it's turned out for.
Okay, so just to clarify, when you get an accepted offer, you get super excited because it's an accepted offer. Offer in hand, accepted. But there's terms and conditions in between that either party have to fulfill. Wonderful. So on average, with a seller's market, it's probably about 5 business. But now that we're in the middle between this buyer-seller's market, it can go up to 7 to 10, 12 days. We've seen some that are up to 2 weeks because of financing or permit requests or anything like that. So you do see a bigger gap nowadays, but we're starting to see that it's trending a little bit differently.
Basically, we were in a seller's focused market before where the sellers got to make the terms. Now that the buyers get to make more terms, it's giving buyers a lot more time to finish the deal.
Great. So after subjects removed, then can we celebrate?
Don't officially celebrate until the closing date. When the keys are handed over, the money's been transferred, that's when you can pop the bubbly.
Okay, you got accepted offer, you got subject removal date, then they give your deposit, and then there's another gap between
The closing date?
subject removal and completion date, correct? What does that time frame look like sometimes? Is it 2 weeks, 2 months, 5 years?
On average, between 30 to 60 days.
Okay.
It depends on whether there's somebody living in the home is vacant, whether there's tenants in the house, which means that sometimes you have to give up to 4 months of notice from the first of the month. There's many different scenarios. Every situation is different. Every home's unique, and everything has to be adjusted every single time.
Okay, question about that. What are the things that can go wrong during the period of subject removal and completion date? Whether it's a buyer or seller, there's certain things that you should make sure you're not doing to mess up finances or any outside variables.
It's all about Murphy's Law sometimes. And if something can go wrong, sometimes it does. You want to make sure that the way people saw the home, when they saw the home before they put in the offer and it was accepted and inspection, that's the way it's handed over. If a freezer broke, if the heating system went out, any of those things have to be addressed before the handover.
Okay, and how about interest rates? We had a conversation with a buyer who purchased a place, but they're not closing for actually almost 4 months from their completion date. What were some concerns with interest rates happening with that and qualifying?
You do have to make sure to talk to your lender, and you have to make sure that you have a locked-in rate. The nice thing about having a long closing date that if the interest rate changes, you can get an adjusted pre-approval amount for your place, and you could start to play with the interest rates a little bit as things change. Now, it's a double-edged sword because it could also go up. So make sure you lock in for that period.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know there were so many things in between, and hopefully this video will help potential sellers and buyers really understand what happens after you get that accepted offer, because there's a lot of things that happen. Thank you.
See you.